Hey authors, let's talk a little bit about your book outline, what they are, what they aren't, and how useful they can be. Then I'll talk a little bit about your first chapter. An outline is for you. It's to help you get from start to finish in your book. An outline is not meant to be scary, overwhelming, time-consuming, hard, something you can get wrong, or something that takes away your creativity within writing. An outline actually helps you write your book. Let me explain. Think of an outline like a map on a trip. You want to get from where you are now to your destination, but you've got some places you want or need to stop at along the way, right? Gas station, favorite stop for lunch, bathroom break, whatever. In order not to miss any of those stops you need to take, you need to plan your route, right? You don't want to be on your trip traveling along and find yourself in the middle of nowhere with no safe place to stop. That's what your outline is. It's your trip route. It's going to get you from the start to the end, minimizing any bumps along the way. An outline can be as detailed or as not as you like, but the main goal is to write out everything in a list form that you want to touch on in your book before you start. While there are a few differences between fiction and nonfiction writing, it's pretty much the same as far as outlines go, and it all starts with your main book idea. So you write down your idea. Let's say you're writing a book about how to garden. Write down each topic you want to cover. What is gardening? What do you need to get started? What do you do if you have problems? What kinds of things do you need to do to garden, etc.? Once you have that list, you can go further from there in your outline. You can say, okay, these are the things I want to make sure I don't miss talking about. This is a particular story or example I want to share. And this would go great with this. Now, what else in those categories should I make sure I mention? That is the start of your outline. So why is this outline so important? Because at some point you are going to get stuck. You are going to be all, uh-oh, I don't know what to write. And that is when you're going to look over at your outline and say, okay, I wrote about this, I wrote about that. Oh, now I write about this. When making your outline, you can do this in a list form. You can organize your topics into chapters. I like to do a combination of both. I start with my list and let it guide itself into chapters. Each chapter can be one topic. The only exception is your first chapter and your last chapter. These are a bit different. Your opening chapter is the introduction to the story and the characters or the subject, the problem, the thing you're helping the reader with. And the last chapter, that's the wrap up. In fiction, that's the ending of the story. In nonfiction, it's a sort of recap on everything touched on and how it can be applied for the reader moving forward. After you've finished your outline, you'll start your first chapter. For a picture book, this might just be the first page. The first chapter, the first part of your book. Remember, this is where you're introducing your reader to what's going on. You are introducing the problem, the setting, the people. You're also setting the tone and the feel for how your book is going to be. Is this going to be a quick, frantic pace, humorous, slow, everything unfolding one clue at a time, or detailed, step-by-step plan the reader gets to follow? This is also a great spot to talk about the goal of the book, its purpose, what you want the reader to get out of it. The first few pages really set the stage for your book. You give your reader an idea of what to expect for the rest of it. So your homework is to work on your outline. Write down everything you want to talk about in your book, everything you want to have happen. Rearrange the order of those topics until you are happy with how it feels to you. An extra idea is if you have a desk you work at, get yourself a whiteboard or a package of Post-it notes. Copy your outline onto those. With the whiteboards, you can easily erase and make adjustments. With the Post-its, you simply move them around in an order you like, and then as you're working, you don't have to switch back and forth between windows to check your outline on your computer. It's all right there. Every time you pass it, you can think about your book. You can think about what's next. It's also motivating because it's a visual starting line and ending line. You can see exactly how far you've come and how much you have left. After you've finished your outline, start working on your first chapter. Books for teens or adults aim for 10 pages per chapter. Those of you writing children's picture books, see if you can perhaps get a draft of your story down. That lets you have the base of your idea written down, and you can go back to it several times, adding, removing, refining over the next few weeks. I'm so happy to be working with you all, and I'll be doing my absolute best to answer any questions you have. and all I can do to help polish your book and get it ready for your readers.